welcome back. We are going to go over 2 exercises for glute activation to help alleviate low back pain. So our glutes, the meaty part on the back of your butt, generally are quite lazy and quite weak, especially after you've given birth, because we've spent a lot of time in an anterior pelvic tilt or seated, and that kind of shuts down the activation to the glutes. So you want to get them reactivated, re-energized, so that they're supporting your low back and supporting your posture, and then helping you move better overall. So 2 exercises. The first one we're going to do is called a clamshell. So we're going to slide down onto our side and lower yourself all the way so your head is supported in your hands. Now, you also have the option of lying all the way down and supporting your head on the side of your arm. I like to hold my head up in my hands. The next thing we're going to do is take a look at our knee position. So knees are stacked together, bent at 90 degrees, and our heels are stacked together. And then we want to see a nice straight line from our shoulder or hip to our heel. So with the clamshell, we're going to be working on the medial glute muscle right behind this hip bone. So you can landmark and find the top of this bone here. And then right behind it, you might find a bit of a flatter part of your bum. That is where the medial glute is. That is the muscle group that we're trying to activate here. So the motion is we're going to open up from the knees and then close like a clam, while trying to activate and think about this muscle working. So this doesn't have to be a big range of motion. It can be really small. So we're going to do about 5 really good solid reps. So nice deep breath in, exhale, raise, and then lower in control. Inhale, exhale, open, and then lower in control. Let's do 3 more. So what we're looking for here is that there's no forward and back rocking of your body. So if you start to find that, one good tip is that you can lean actually slightly forward. Now you can't do the activation point or have your hand on your hip at the same time, but it will help you from that rock back motion. Opening up and down. So pick a number of repetitions. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10 to begin with. That feels good and you can feel the activation. Once you stop feeling the activation, then it means that that glute muscle has gotten tired and you're no longer activating it. Or if you don't feel it, I'll show the other side some examples. It just may be a bit of a position change that's needed. So once you're done your reps, roll to the other side. Same thing, support your head in your hands, heels underneath your shoulders, knees stacked together. So some people will need their feet a little bit more open or a little bit more in front of their hips to feel this exercise. So you have those options, opening up and release. So what I don't want to see is this, if your hip is rolling backwards. So 2 things are happening here. If your hip is rolling backwards, we're opening too far, or we're not active through our core. So the core is important here. It doesn't have to be a full tight contraction, just a little bit of an engagement, and then exhaling, opening into this. So last 2 here, deep breath in, exhale, lift, and release. Now if you're starting to feel this down the top of your leg, again, that could mean that your glutes are tired or we're just not in the right position for you. So this is a better position for me to feel it more into my glutes versus having my feet slightly ahead of them. And then the second exercise from here, we're going to roll straight to our back and place our heels on the floor about hip width from your bum if you have the flexibility and you can get there. And then we're going to do bridge. So glute bridges are when we're raising our hips up and down. So previously we talked about the pelvic tilt. So I want you to think about that pelvic tilt position first. So hands on the hip. Inhale, exhale to activate the pelvic tilt. And then we're going to push through the heels to lift the hips up. And then slowly release. Reactivate through that pelvic tilt. Lift exhale, pause, and then release. So you have a lot of options here, but if you're just starting out, I would release that tilt every time and reactivate it. If you're a little bit further along postpartum, your challenge would be to hold that tilt as you lower down, barely touch the floor, and then go right back into your glute bridge. So inhaling on the way down, exhaling on the way up. As soon as you feel that tilt release and your back start to arch, reset, come back into it, and then up. So your other option here is also to do more of a hold and say take 5 seconds and hold up. So this will give your glutes a little bit more endurance. Release back down, reset, and lift. Trying to keep your heels planted on the floor, and then your shoulder blades stay on the floor. When you're done, roll over onto your side and push yourself back up from your hip. So that's 2 exercises that are very helpful in activating the glutes. If you have any questions, you can send me an email or a direct message. I will put the information below the video. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you soon.